And recording now. Hi, YouTube.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
You get the dance that the listeners don't get. So good. High quality.
It is high quality dancing. Okay, you ready to hit record?
Yep.
Here we go. 3. Oh, you can do it.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm hitting record in 3, 2, 1. Okay. And 3, 2, 1.
Yay!
Good. Okay. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tea with Claudia and B. That's Claudia over there.
That's B over there.
Hi! And this week we are again talking about Mansfield Park, specifically the 1999 movie starring Frances O'Connor and our dear friend Jonny Lee Miller. And I'm just going to say it, this one has the best Henry Crawford.
Oh, yeah, he does. It is. He is a good one.
No, the best Henry Crawford. Okay.
He is good. He is good.
And we have things to say.
We do. And this is our last Mansfield episode, which I'm kind of like excited about, which is a bad thing, but
remember how sad and sentimental we got about Emma, and with
I know,
kind of ready to move on.
I know, just a little bit. I mean, it's just everyone is so awful except for Fanny, you know. I mean, it's like, and William,
and this
which they didn't even have William. They didn't even have William.
I know. I was sad about that.
I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's talk about this movie, because since it is the last week of Mansfield, we can kind of like sum up what we feel about Mansfield in general after we talk about the specifics of this movie. Okay.
But we need to start with our weekly obsession, right?
You're totally right. I'm glad you stopped me. So let's dive in to an obsession. Claudia, what's your obsession this week?
So I saw one of my good friends today. I was getting my car worked on, and she randomly asked me what I was doing in the afternoon. And I was like, I'm going to get my car because the brake light is out. And so they had to like rewire it and fix it. And so I was like, great, you want to pick me up and go get lunch? She's like, sure. She's like, I have your Christmas presents. And she got me like the cutest things, like these sparkly pink moccasins, which I love. And then she also got me this like teacup. It says like my really cup of tea. And it even has like one of those really nice for like loose leaf tea that you can put in. And then it has like a cover. It's so cool, which is nice.
Quality teacup right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you have your little teacup. What are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking London Fog. It's my favorite from Hardy and Sons. It's so good.
So cozy. I love that. Mm-hmm. Okay, I have my little teacup that my mom gave me.
I love it. I don't know what it is, but when you held it up, it's like beep.
Oh my gosh, can we do a picture of that?
Yeah, you're like beep. I need one that says C, and then we can match. And then you need to get this one. I know.
Yeah. Okay. Ready? Teacups up. Okay. Cuteness. Follow us on Insta to see the picture. Okay, you guys. I'm drinking watered down peach. It's like wild peach or something like that. Peach Nights. I don't know. And it has honey in it. It's yummy. It's peachy and honey-y, and it's good.
Yeah. Aw, that's cute.
Man, I'm a noob. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Something weird happened with your audio there. What was that? Are you?
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't hear it in my audio.
Okay, no, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure, because something weird happened where it was like you were in an echo chamber.
Oh, okay. Well, we will edit that crap out. Okay.
Okay. So did you just say what was your obsession? Did you say?
So my obsession this week is in 2 parts. I first started a new season of Call the Midwife, which I haven't watched for a long time, and I just remembered how much I adore that show. So I've just been thinking about it nonstop. And then from that, I've just been thinking about the 1960s era in general and how much I love their hair and their makeup and their clothes. And I just wish I could time travel back to the 1960s.
I know, me too. I do too. Well, it's interesting though, because I've asked people. I remember like asking people when I was younger, like, how the heck do they get their hair to look like that every day? And it's like, they just didn't wash it. I think they just went to the salon.
Yeah.
And then got it done like that. And then would like go the next week. And it's like,
I know.
Oh my God.
Doesn't that sound like a dream?
Well, kind of, but also sounds kind of inconvenient. Because I'm sorry, but like not trying to be like, you know, dirty, but if I have a husband and I want to get down and dirty, I have to watch out for my hair.
That is so valid. You're 100% right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean. Oh my gosh.
So it's kind of just one of those things where I thought about that and I was like, I don't know if I don't know. I would like it and I wouldn't like it. You know?
I agree. There are benefits and there are disadvantages on both sides. So I just love the idea of going to the salon once a week and having a little visit, chit chat, and getting your hair like all done and feel pampered, and then being like, I'm set for the week. I'm good to go.
I know. Well, like I love going to blowout bars. Oh my God. I love getting my hair blowed out.
It's
whenever
the
you
most
visit,
relaxed.
we'll have to go do that. That'd be fun.
That would be so fun. Okay, done. So excited.
Yeah,
all the plans we're making for a visit.
I know. I desperately need my hair cut. But like, okay, the thing is that all of my ladies that I've used have like gone and they all now live an hour away.
Oh no.
I'm like, no. And then like, it's awful. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? So I don't know. I'll figure it out. My friend, she's like, I'm not taking home appointments right now because she would just usually cut hair in the house. She doesn't have a salon.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, but I can meet you in the parking lot before work. And I was like,
what? She's kidding, right?
No. I was like,
oh my gosh.
Okay. I was like,
what are you, like a junkie trying to meet up to get your next fix? Like, come on.
Well, I don't know because it's like with all the wind and like all of that. I don't know. Like, it's so weird. Where would I even sit? On the ground? Like,
oh, she would probably bring a really classy fold-out chair or something.
So I have to find like a new lady that's semi-close to me, but I don't want to because I liked the ladies that I used. So
yeah. Oh, I'm with you. And I'm picky with my hair. So anytime I get a new person, I'm always like, are you going to do it how I like it?
I know. And I had the same girl do my hair for like 10 plus years because I like went to like middle school and high school, and then I went to college like around the same area, so I would just drive like it was like 45 minutes, but I was like, it was worth it because like I knew her, so I guess an hour isn't too bad, but it's just kind of like it's a whole thing.
Yeah, that is annoying. I totally get you. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I hope that you're able to get through this.
I know.
First world problems we have, but you know what? That's valid. I would have a hard time with that too.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll just have to ask my eyebrow lady who she recommends because I trust her. She's really cool. So
that's good. She probably knows a lot of people in the industry too. So that's good.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of like makeup and hair, okay, you guys, we're gonna pitch this idea to you. What do you think if B and I did like get ready with us videos? Would that be so fun?
Wouldn't that be the best? Like, don't you just want that, right?
The only problem is like I would need like a mirror probably that's not in my bathroom because like, or I guess I could just use Zoom as like a mirror and be like,
I know, I was thinking that too. It is kind of hard to get this set up, like the makeup videos of filming yourself doing makeup, because either you have a funny angle or you have a good angle, but then you're like getting in your face and your hands are like in the screen. And you're like, oh, I need to change how I do things. Like,
I know, but we could be like those beauty influencers that takes their makeup and then they're like, this is like, oh, like, you know.
You know what we should do?
And they hold up their hand like to the camera. Those of you who are listening and not watching,
let it adjust.
They hold up their product to the camera and they're like, "Oh, look at this! It's this." Oh my gosh.
You know what we should do? We should do like a Q&A episode where people ask us questions or something. Or we could like swap turns of interviewing each other. Because remember how we both said that we always like pretend in our car or whatever that we're getting interviewed because we're like famous and beloved by the public.
Yeah.
We should do something like that and post that for me.
Oh my gosh.
Let's just make believe all of our dreams and then just post them on Instagram. The content would be so good.
Oh my God. Okay, so we probably should get back to this topic.
Yeah. Let's
that
focus.
Was like
Let's focus.
That was like we went out on left field. Okay. So first thoughts about
okay.
when this movie starts.
I am going to be real with you. I actually really enjoy watching this movie because I like how they tell the story. I don't necessarily like what they turn the story into. Like they take a lot of liberties in this telling of Mansfield.
So yeah. So my thing, like just an overview of all of it, is they made Fanny Jane Austen.
Oh, that's such a good thought. I did not think of that, but I like that.
Because Susie is Cassandra, her sister, and she's a writer. And Jane Austen did, you know, she was married, proposed to by Horace, whatever, Bigwither or whatever, you know.
I love that name so much, Horace Bigwither. Yes, I think
or whatever.
that is
I could be wrong with that name, but
could be Joe for all we know. I don't remember his name. I think that is a very astute observation, and I would agree with that.
Because I'm angry though that they cut out William and put Susie instead. Like, because isn't it? She has a sister named Susan, right?
Yeah, and Susan ends up going to Mansfield after she marries Edmund, but there's no William. We wrote him a letter to speak and everything.
I know.
I mean, like, last week, whatever.
And like, I just think it's important to show like good men. You know what I mean? Like it's good to have, that's why I like Jane Austen's characters, because there are some really awful women, there's some really awesome women, and there's some really horrible men, and there's some really awesome men. And it just makes me sad that like a good man got cut in the film.
Yeah, because that's also a sweet, endearing relationship. I do like how they really build up her relationship with her sister. I thought that was like so well written, and that does happen. Like she is close to her sister when she goes home, and then her sister ends up coming to Mansfield. So like they kept that, but I was sad that William wasn't there. I like William. I wanted to see his little dance after.
I know. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I don't know. Should I turn on my original sound on Zoom? Or
what do you mean?
It says turn on original sound in the corner. Sorry, you're having to edit this out.
I don't care.
Should I do that?
Didn't they ask you that last week?
I don't remember. I just am nervous that what if like this ends up like not okay when we get done.
I would say just leave it as is for now.
Okay. Hopefully we'll figure it out. Okay. All right. So back to this. All right. So okay, is Julia Bertram, is she Jane Fairfax from the 2009 version? Is that her?
Oh,
she looked very familiar. Like I think it was like a younger version.
You might be right about that.
And I know that if it is that actress, I know that actress played Jane Austen in a film that I haven't seen.
Oh, is it Miss Austen's Regrets that you're talking about? Yeah. I think.
Have you seen it?
I have. I saw it many years ago and I really liked it. They, from what I know, they were pretty accurate to Jane Austen's life, but we should watch it sometime. That one's good.
Yeah.
So yes, I think you're right about that.
Okay. So that's the actress? Oh, I thought she looked familiar.
We have so many actors and actresses in the Jane Austen world that just kind of switch roles with all the different books.
Yeah, and that's cute that she played Jane Fairfax and then Edmund played Knightley.
Yeah. Which I liked in this movie that Jonny Lee Miller is much younger than he was in Emma. So he has like this little baby face as Tom Burton.
He does. Yeah,
like
he's got a really good average Joe look to him that I like. You know?
Yeah, kind of
average Joe.
Normal. Yeah. So except Johnny. Um, okay. So one of the things I noticed, I really like the aesthetic value of this movie and like the sets and the costumes and the hair. I just thought it was beautiful. But one thing that I really appreciate. Oh, do you have something?
No, go.
Okay.
I do, but go. I just thought of it. Go.
I'll do it. One thing I really appreciated is that the scene where Fanny arrives at Mansfield, I loved the camera work and the angles and how they filmed everything, because it just added like this element of kind of like being disoriented or confusion. And I felt like it aided in Fanny's perspective of just being this little girl and then being like, oh, I don't really know what's expected of me. I don't really know even how long I'm supposed to be here. Like I just loved it. I loved it so much. So even if you just watch the opening scene of that movie and notice that the angles of the camera and different things like that, I just felt like it was so like purposely plotted. You know, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a good observation. What I noticed is with older Fanny, they actually made her hair looked like Jane Austen's portrait, because she's got those curls around her face. Yeah. So
Frances O'Connor is so cute. I really like her.
She is cute. Yeah, I like her too. I do. I thought, I don't know, the blonde one and her, I don't know. I feel like, I know that there's not much to Fanny more than just like shy and timid, but I didn't feel like those two Fannys played her shy and timid.
The blonde one and this one, you mean? Yeah, I agree. And I actually really like that, because I think for me that made Fanny more likable, but it also made sense of why Henry Crawford would fall in love with her, because like in this one, I like that they kind of show her intelligence more, like she sees everything and you can see her mind. And then she's kind of like a little sassy and a little flirty, but also really self-possessed. And so I like that portrayal, because to me that makes sense of why somebody like Henry Crawford would kind of look at her and be like, oh, wait a second, more to her. Like she says this thing that's really unassuming, but there's way more to her, and kind of be intrigued by that at first and then like fall in love with that, you know?
Yeah, and I think that they did that to make her more likable. I just don't think it's true to the book.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
You know, I think the other Fanny from the 83 version was more accurate to the book. But I mean, that's the thing, is I guess it's just your own what do you call it, preference of like what you like in a person. Because I still liked Fanny as like a shy and timid girl, because she was like super sweet and like super she seemed super easy to get along with, you know. But they kind of wanted to make, I think that the blonde Fanny and this Fanny, they kind of made her like more of a Jo March.
Definitely through a modern lens, for sure. Well, I guess for me, like Fanny, there's certain moments where like Fanny's I feel like Fanny is the Jane Austen's version of Jane Eyre. Like she really like sticks to what she feels is right, even when she's trying to be persuaded otherwise, and she actually has like skin in the game, like some things that she could lose from it. But I think I liked how you could, like I said, you could see her thinking and like noticing things, because that was Fanny. Like she did see things. She saw things more than anyone else did. You know, she saw them for what they were, but she also was a little bit more timid and like soft-spoken than the last two movies we've watched, the blonde Fanny and Frances O'Connor. So I guess for me, I relate to them being a little bit more outspoken or having a little bit more grit, but I do like that they show that like she sees the things and she's like understanding, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Fanny, even in the book, was a little sassy, like to Henry Crawford, when she's like, nobody dies of a broken heart except on stage, you know, like she kind of calls him out a little bit. So I like that.
Yeah. So now, is Frances O'Connor in any other Jane Austen film? Because she's really good. Like, I feel like she should have been Elizabeth Bennet instead of Keira Knightley. But maybe she was too old. I don't know. Because I don't know how old she is now. She probably was too old. I just couldn't stand Keira Knightley in that part. Ugh. But anyway, that we're like skipping ahead to May, but I just
months out. She's in I know she's in several period pieces. I'm looking through IMDb. She was in Once Upon a Time. I didn't know that.
Oh, who was she?
Colette.
Colette? Gosh. Okay, so I used to be like obsessed with the show when it first came out, and I watched it like religiously. And then it just got so long, and I was like, ugh, I kept on falling asleep, so I just stopped watching it because I'm like, I can't anymore. This plot is just like over the, like, this needs to end.
See, here's the thing. They did the same thing that I've mentioned before that I dislike, where it's a great show and they set it up well, and at some point you realize it's just a soap opera. Like, they just, they don't always keep a good ratio of like conflict resolution and like panic modes and the build up, and then just nice deep writing. I don't know. Who am I? Listen to me, the Hollywood exec.
I know. It just got too long. It just got too long, and it was just like, oh my gosh. Okay, so when Mary Crawford, who they took so many liberties with, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, when she comes in and it's like, which man might I have the pleasure of making love to? I was just like, that is just so unnecessary, and not like when she's talking about the play.
Yeah. I mean, she says that line in the book, but they definitely like put a twist on it in this one. And like when she was practicing her lines with Fanny and getting all touchy feely, like there were a lot of, I don't know, there was a lot of like innuendo in her character that I didn't think was in the book, but whatever. Yeah. 1999, man.
Well, and I feel, I don't know, like, I guess like how I would direct it is that she was like, which man might I have the pleasure of making love to? And then I would tell the actress to like laugh really loud after that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like to be like, like, because then they're like, and then she's like, kind of like a Caroline Bingley laugh or something.
Yeah, like a big flirt, a big tease. Totally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have told her to do it that way instead of like, I don't know.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, let's get into a little bit of the romanticalness of this movie. The scene where they have they host the ball for her like coming out.
Yes.
All of that. Don't you think it's funny that back in Jane Austen's day, coming out was like this lady's like moment, and now coming out is still a big deal, but it's just like a totally different thing.
How coming out where?
Like now like you come out as homosexual or something like that. But it's like still, that phrase is still like applicable and a big deal.
I was confused. I was like, did I miss like a ball? And you had a ball? I would have been so mad. I would have been like, a coming out ball and I didn't get a go. Like,
let's do a coming out ball when we visit each other.
but that's gonna sound so wrong. The boys' fantasies are gonna be like, oh yeah.
Just kidding. I'm just like not like that. Okay.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. I'm just like, oh gosh, if we. Yeah. No, that is so interesting. Funny. No, that is very interesting. That it's
things changed, but not really.
Yeah, it's completely changed.
Yeah. So funny. Okay, anyway, back to the ball scene. So they're all cutesy and dancing and everything, and I liked how she was a little more carefree in this, even though she didn't really want that ball to like whatever. Okay. I loved so much how they filmed it so that the dancing scenes, it was like Mary Crawford and what's his bucket? Edmund, yeah. Edmund, and then Fanny and Henry, and they're all dancing, but then there's like moments where you're not sure who's touching who. Like they dance and they pass each other, and like whose hand just brushed their shoulder or something like that. And it kind of blends. And I like how it shows kind of a little bit of a conflict, or like these two guys, like one actually might be interested in her and the other one's clearly interested in her. I just thought it was so lovely and so clever. So I liked that scene a lot.
And I loved her dress. I loved it.
Oh, she looked so pretty. Yeah, I loved it. And then she goes up to her room after the ball is done, and Henry Crawford is out on the lawn so that he can like bow to her through the window. Okay, girl, I love Henry Crawford in this movie. I am Team Henry.
And after we wrote that letter, that nasty letter, and now you're like, just kidding.
If I had watched this movie before we wrote that letter, I would be like, I'll marry you. Oh, because he's like the wounded boy, but
he left Mariah in the freaking dust.
I know. He is a cad. He is bad. But I love what they do for his character in this, even though I don't think it's accurate to the book. I just enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, no, he's hot for sure. He's hot.
Oh, he's so hot, but he's also like sweet and endearing in a way that he's not in the other movies. And he's not
it's that really curly hair.
And it's his sideburns that point seductively towards his kissable lips. It just does it for me.
Oh, that is so funny. I cannot. Oh my God. Yeah, he is a cutie in this one. Yeah, because like the romantic gestures he did for Fanny, I was like, that's not, but okay.
No, he did it. That's totally fabricated, but it's really sweet. And then the scene of like how nice he is to her family, and they make her like life at home, her family life, like way more undesirable than it was in the other movies. And he's still gracious about it. But then the scene of them walking when she like says yes, and he's like, is that the yes my heart has heard so many times but hasn't happened yet? Like, that was so cute, and it just made me love him. And then
it was really
my heart
cute.
broke for him more.
You know what's interesting is when that scene happened, because I haven't seen this movie in years, but I was like, oh my God, I did not realize that they took this liberty. And then when she woke up, I thought, oh, it was just a dream. But then I was like, oh it's not a dream. Oops. So I was surprised that they took that liberty.
Yeah, they changed so many things, and it's not accurate to the book, but I love how they did that for this movie.
And I like it was kind of like, I wonder how they would be together. But I wrote something down of like how Edmund says something that's like really let me see, where is this? You would be the making of him. Edmund says that to Fanny, and that's just not healthy. You know, like that's super unhealthy to be the making of somebody. Like,
because you always have like that responsibility to make them a better person, and that's never.
You can't make somebody a better person. You can like encourage them and like, you know, set a good example, and then maybe like they'll want to be a better person because of that. But you can't like force somebody to be a better person.
No, you really can't. They'll just drag you both down. Okay, another question I have about this version of Mansfield Park. Okay, Sir Thomas. Is he just like such a creep?
Yeah, and this one he is, and he's not like normally. That's what I'm saying in Jane Austen Book Club when like they're in line to go see this movie, and then like Emily Blunt's character is like super upset, Prudy, because her husband won't go to the basketball game with her, and then like the Bernadette is like, "Oh, are you excited to see this movie or something?" She's like, "No." She's like making Sir Bertram into some sort of slave owner. Like,
I know.
They just completely like, I don't know. There was a lot of they're trying to make it like, you know, they're all about the feels with people and the views, and so they're like, oh, this will like get people to like, he's the villain and yada yada.
I just got some real like Predator vibes from him towards Fanny. You know, like it's like when he got back from the West Indies in the book and in other movies, he's like, oh, you've grown so much, you're like so grown up now, you know. But in this one they made it seem like he'd be the creepy uncle that's like, oh, you're growing into quite a young woman now, you know. Like, it was icky. I didn't like that. I did not like that at all.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't really like
and it. They definitely take some liberties with that, and it's super like creative license on his dealings in the West Indies and how he treated the people out there, and I don't like that because it's unseemly, but I also understand where they would probably think that was a good direction.
I thought it was hilarious when Lady Bertram said, she was talking about, I think it was that they were all mad, like in a circle around Fanny and talking about like, why the heck won't you accept Henry's offer? Mm-hmm. And then Lady Bertram's like, when Pug has babies, you shall have a puppy. It's like so random.
And she does the face like,
I know, like,
this is the best offer you're gonna get.
It's just like, okay, yeah, it's just crazy. Oh, but okay, so I started crying when Edmund and Fanny like say goodbye when she has to go home. Ooh, like
that is a really sweet scene.
I know that scene. It just gets me in the. I'm really like, I'm about to cry right now. Like I'm just really sensitive to like crying scenes, and so I just start crying immediately. I just start. So like Little Women, I cry like 5 or 6 times. So
how could you not in that one?
I know.
I do like how they wrote Fanny and Edmund's character and their friendship and stuff like that. I liked that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did too. I thought that they created a great bond with them. And that was good, even though they're cousins. It's just like, whatever.
They sure are, aren't they?
I learned I didn't realize, like when Fanny was like, Susie asked about Henry Crawford. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, he's a total rake. And I was like, wait, I can't remember what that is. And I was like, oh, it's womanizer. So womanizer, oh, you're a womanizer, oh, you're womanizer.
What if we rewrote that to match like all of the slangs of the Regency era, like a rake or a cat? Doesn't have quite the same ring to it. You know it. Rakes and hoes.
You know it. Oh man. Yeah, I just couldn't remember what that meant. All right. I know that you're gonna bring this up. The men going into the room and she's like in her PJs.
Why?
What the heck?
I don't know.
Bizarre.
I don't know if that's like their way to build tension now for a modern audience to watch or whatever, but it bugs the crap out of me. It just
it's inappropriate.
Yes.
You know, like, I don't know.
This isn't Bridgerton. This is Mansfield Park, okay?
Like, the thing about it is like, even when I go visit my aunt and uncle, they don't see me in my PJs. You know, they don't come into my room to talk, you know? Like, it's just not really like a thing. Yeah,
that's not what adults do anymore. It's not a slumber party. We don't like.
Yeah,
I mean, I would with my sister, but not any, you know, like people of the opposite sex. No, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a little weird to me.
Yeah. I mean, we all know my opinion. I'm glad you agree with me.
Yeah, well, it's weird. It's definitely weird.
Yeah, and I feel like there's just so many more scenes you could build up. Like, if you want to have a casualness, why couldn't you make it more interesting of like showing them in the garden or in like a different room in the house or in the study together, or even like somebody going down into the kitchen to get something and the other person coming up and talking. I feel like you could be more creative and show life as it happened around there. You know what I mean? I just think I would prefer that instead of always somebody coming into somebody else's sleeping chambers, bedroom.
No, I agree. I do agree. I do. Okay, this is hilarious. So like what I wrote, because I was like in time watching this being like, what? I go, what in the world? She never says yes to Henry. Good grief, it's sweet, but and then I go, oh good, it was a dream. Phew. And then I say, oh wait, it wasn't. What?
They got you. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We have to address Mr. Rushworth in this.
Oh, I wrote that down. He was so good.
He was. It just cracked me up so much that he's the dad, the Lord, the whoever from Downton Abbey.
Yes.
It was so funny.
He was good.
So good.
He was perfect for Mr. Rushworth. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
He was. I loved how anytime he would walk by a mirror, he'd be like, ooh, and like check himself out.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, Mr. Rushworth. Poor Mr. Rushworth. But not really poor Mr. Rushworth because he's not poor, but you know.
No, and he was just a dummy. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Have a little insight into the human condition to know that the girls attract one hoe. Yeah. I really liked the cast in this movie, though. I thought they did great.
Yeah, I liked the cast as well. I was sad that there wasn't more Tom. I won't lie, because I like Tom.
Me too. I enjoy his character.
More Tom, and I wanted William. I missed William.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked how they made Tom, like they made him into the artist, you know. I kind of liked that.
Yeah, because that makes sense with his like his deepness and his like, you know, how his escapism. He's like an addict. Yeah, mm-hmm. I think he's an addict, and so it's like, oh, he's like you know, the boy that I totally would be like, let me fix you, which is like so unhealthy. But like, I'm talking about when I was younger, I'd be like, oh my God, I can fix you. Like, oh my God, you're gonna love it.
Oh my gosh, that would be funny. We should talk about, I mean, in this one, I think we have touched on it fairly well, but like our healthy pick of who we like, who we'd be crushing on, and our unhealthy pick of who we'd be crushing on, because.
Are we talking about like this movie specifically?
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Because I'm sure you've guessed, I would definitely be unhealthy crushing Henry Crawford. I'd be like, boy, like, you're so fun.
I know. Well, I don't know, because the Tom in this one didn't like ever strike me as like, ooh, he's cute. Because he wasn't in it very much.
Yeah, no, he.
I think I would be a Henry Crawford as well in this one. You know?
He's just so exquisitely bad boy. Like the scene when he comes into the study or the library and he like reads that poem, I would be like, oh I know. My gosh, you know.
I know.
You guys.
I didn't hear that word. Say it again. Like I would totally say that.
Well, and I like the banter that they just set up between them, where she's kind of like, okay, whatever. You know, like she doesn't really give him credit, but you could tell that she does, like she is a little bit like, oh, that's nice, you know. Mm-hmm. I just like that dynamic. Anyway, enough about my
I liked that. I liked that one too. Yeah, it is interesting though in this one why him and Julia never worked it out. I don't know,
because she's so cute in this one.
I know, but
do you think? Okay, I was wondering this when I was watching it, when Mariah is talking to her dad and she's like, I want to marry Mr. Rushworth like very soon, and I want Julia to come on the honeymoon with us. Do you think that she did that to sabotage her actually working out with Henry Crawford?
Oh, maybe. That's a good point.
Because she was super into him.
She didn't want Henry to be with him. Yeah.
Because that would have been torture. Like if she had left her sister there and something had happened and they'd formed a connection and gotten engaged, that would have driven Mariah insane to always see him, you know, but having to be married to her sister.
Oh yeah, that would have been a mess.
So I don't know. I think she was conniving. I think she did it on purpose.
I think so too.
To which I have to say, well played, madam. Well played.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it is interesting to have your sister come on a honeymoon. I would never want to go on a honeymoon with a couple.
No. Awkward.
But I mean, I guess for that, I bet you that Mariah hung out with Julia more than she did her husband on the honeymoon, you know?
Probably.
That's probably why she wanted her there, because she didn't want to hang out with him.
Yeah, she just didn't want to honeymoon with him at all.
Yeah. I know. It's crazy.
Disappointing.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I don't know. Wild. These girls are whack, dude. Like,
yeah,
like the Bertram girls are wacky, whack.
Little wackadoodles. Yeah, they are.
They are entitled, spoiled brats who just need to get, I mean, the only way that they learn is by making mistakes. So I don't know.
I know.
I mean, at least Julia got, you know, a good match. That's good.
That's true. Well, this is actually like a good segue to just talking about Mansfield in general as a, you know, as the story, as characters and all of that.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot to be said for all of the characters surrounding Fanny and Edmund during this thing. Mm-hmm. So it's funny because today I'll have to remember who it was. I saw an Instagram post today of somebody kind of giving their thought on Mansfield Park. Mm-hmm. And she said how she felt like Jane Austen wrote two main characters that were kind of boring and would almost be overlooked as like a creative way to tell the story of the people around them. Like the Crawfords are more interesting and all stuff like that, but they're kind of side characters. And I disagreed with that, actually. I thought that was a very creative, interesting perspective on it. But I was like, I actually feel like I have a hard time with Mansfield Park because I dislike the supporting characters and the surrounding characters enough. And then Fanny and Edmund are not as interesting as her other ones. And so to me, that's like two bad combinations, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I just, when I read this, I always love Fanny. I don't know. I just always love her. Even, I just think
she is a great character.
Yeah. I just think she's so, just a good example, you know, to really, she goes with her instinct, but she also like goes with fact too. And that's what I like. Yeah. Like with Henry, she went with her instinct, but she also went with her facts, with what she knew. I mean, she knew that he was like all over Mariah and all of that. So I think that's a big reason and why she wouldn't take him. But it is hard. I mean, like I understand why like Lord Bertram would be upset that she didn't want to be with Henry, because from his perspective, it's like, oh, she'll be like, you know, have an amiable match and blah, 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 like she'll have more money. But in reality, you know, I wonder though, if Henry would have left her.
I don't
got married.
Constant to her. I think he would have stayed constant longer, but I think eventually he would have gone
drifted back.
Yeah. His behaviors before, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
For sure.
But I do also like the development of the Bertrams of what's his name? Is he a baron or lord?
I don't know. I think it's
Uncle
Lord.
Bertram and Lady Bertram.
I think it's Lord. I think he's a Lord.
Because it's Lord and Lady, huh?
Yeah.
We should brush up on our British titles that we don't know about. I
know.
I like how their characters develop to like recognizing Fanny and then appreciating her. So I really enjoy that about the story. And I do like that Fanny is constant. You know, she does. I mean, because it's in this book, the quote, this says, I was silent, but I was not blind. Like that's Fanny. She might not always have to make a big deal about something, but she sees it, you know. That's a pretty strong character, you know?
Yeah, I enjoy her. I do. I think we all should be like Fanny, and you know, and I like that she critically thinks a lot, which is really cool to see, you know. I really admire that about her. I do. I mean, I don't think that we all should marry our cousin, but
no, definitely not. Or even our second cousin. Let's not do it. Plenty of fish in the sea.
A little weird. A little bit, you know.
So what else do you feel and think about this book?
I mean, I just feel like it's kind of a tornado around Fanny. It's almost like it's interesting. It almost is a little bit like she is the author and she's writing these like characters. And so like, I understand why this film took that take of her being an author, but it almost is like, she's like the author and she's kind of like creating all of this, like, you know, drama with all the characters, even though she's not. But I'm just like, you know, it just, she would be like the author if this were like a fantasy where she was like writing the characters. I feel like Fanny would be like the, you know, it's always the quiet, shy ones.
Yeah. And it is an interesting perspective if she wrote this as a little bit of a autobiography, you know, maybe she had experiences where she could relate, and that's why she wrote the story of the unassuming characters are the ones she focused on.
Yeah. It is interesting to think about. What about you? What are your final thoughts on all of this?
You know, as much as popular as it is to talk about how boring Fanny is, I do like Fanny. I don't enjoy Mansfield Park tons, and even like reading it this month and stuff, there's a lot of moments where I was like, I don't love it. It's not my favorite, but I do appreciate the background and the details in it. I just don't enjoy all of the background characters as much. And that's one thing that I really love about a Jane Austen novel is she has all these other little characters. I mean, like we just finished Emma, and I love every supporting character in it, even the ones that you're not supposed to like, I find humorous, you know? So going from that to Mansfield, it's kind of like, I just see that in stark difference. But I still really appreciate that. And I like how Jane Austen is able to make multiple points or morals in one book, you know, like she has layers, and I always appreciate that. And the same thing with Mansfield. I think she did a really good job with that, of creating different characters in different situations and showing how people can choose one path versus a different one. Like, it's interesting.
Well, and that's something cool that I like that in this film where Fanny was like, maybe it all would have been different, but it wasn't. And that's a really good point to make, is that our lives can go in so many different directions, but it might have been different, but it wasn't. So
it wasn't.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of I liked it a lot. Oh, so Mansfield was good. This was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I just, the liberties with the characters were a little much for me. But you know, what can you do?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what you could do. You could marry your cousin, but where I think so many Jane Austen people are like, get over the cousin thing already.
Like, I know, but I can't. We can't really. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, any last words for Mansfield?
Goodbye.
Well said. Well said.
Goodbye. So.
Bye. So long.
I know.
Avida Zainadu.
Oh, my first graders, we do that song. They love it. They're like, can we do the goodbye song? It's so cute.
It's a good song.
And they all, I'd have different little duets for some of them. And so they come marching up to the front and then they sing it and do their little choreo. It's really sweet.
Cute. Oh, I love that.
They're adorable. There's little cuties. So they're a mess, but they're cute.
That's like me. It's like you described me just there.
And me. Well, I mean, we're the same,
but we're the same.
We're the same person. So
it's true. Same person, different hair. It's great.
Same voice.
Exactly.
Same voice. So.
Oh, you gotta love it. Voice twins. Okay, well, let's wrap this little baby up. Highlights and lowlights for this week. Okay. What is your low light?
My low light? I would say I definitely think I need a break after the show.
Yeah.
Because I've been going
working hard.
I've been going since like the summer with like shows. And so I think I'm going to take a break after this one because I've just been like, oh my God. And so I just like miss, like, I don't know. I'm like, oh my gosh, I like rehearsal and stuff, but I'm like, ugh, I have rehearsal. I'm like, you know, I'm kind of getting like, with it, but it's okay. Once we open,
you're recognizing you need like a little time to
like, not, you know, to not have to
not be so busy, not have all of the responsibilities of it. And
yeah. So
you know, even the things we love the most, we need a minute from, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's like another audition for another show, and I'm like, should I do it? And I'm like, oh, no. Because even after this, I know. Well, after this show, I have another show because it got canceled last year. It's with Orlando Fringe, which is like a Fringe festival where like it's original work, and so it got canceled last year, so they're doing it again this year. So it's like I have it right after that one, so it's like okay, but after that I like really should take a break.
Yeah, that would be good for you for sure.
Yeah,
just a little breather.
So yeah, I'm kind of just been like about all of that, but yeah, it's okay. It'll be good once we get it open. It'll be good. So
no, you'll love it, but that's good that you recognize that you need like a little bit of something, so you can make sure you get that. That's awesome. I commend you for that. My low light this week, I was having a hard time coming up with a low light because I just felt really like blessed this last week, and I don't know. I was like, I feel so grateful. It must be spring or something. But I'm gonna say my low light this week is it is self tanning season again, and I definitely got some bad streaks going on my legs and my hands from self tanner.
Really?
So,
oh my god.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to scrub. Yes, I do. I kind of, well, I go tanning because I'm blessed with the Scottish skin that will just fry if I don't prepare myself for the rays of the sun. But I didn't want to buy, there's no like deals going on right now at any of the tanning salons I go to. And I wanted to look less pasty white. And so I was like, I'll just do some self tanner. And usually I do that because I just want to, I don't have like a tan complexion to my skin. Let's just talk about my skin. I go red. I'm Irish and Scottish. So that's what I do. So even when I'm tan, I'm like a little more pink than everyone else. So I'll use like self tanner on top of that to just get a tan look. And I just was feeling so pasty white that I was like, I'm going to put a little self tanner on, just look like I'm ready for summer. And then I have like these orange, the spots. Yeah. If you haven't done self tanner, like getting it on your hands is really hard. Like you want your hand to be slightly tanned, but then it gets in your knuckles or it gets on the side of your hand. Anyway, that's interesting. I had to scrub it really, really good yesterday morning to be like, I don't need orange hands.
Yeah, that's funny because I want to be as pale as possible. Like I don't ever want to be tan.
You want the porcelain skin?
Yeah, I do. But I've tried tanning lotion and I don't understand how it works. So,
well, you just
and then I was like, well, the only reason I tried, I know, but I was just like, but like I have to rub this everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
like that's a lot of work, and I didn't even want to be tan. The reason I was doing it is because I used to like sell some makeup stuff, and so I was like, okay, I have to like try this so I can like tell people about it. And then I was like, I'm not going to try it because I was like, I don't really want to put this all over my bod. Like,
no, I don't like the tanning lotion at all. I'm with you on that, but I like the like liquid self tanner that you can just put on it. It doesn't last very long, and I don't know, like it barely makes me any tanner, but just enough that it looks like I was out in the sun for a day,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I just feel like a better person when I'm tan. Anywho,
so funny. Okay, so what is your highlight?
Oh, my highlight. My highlight this week is a little funny. I thought my computer was broken, so I took it to the geeks at the Geek Squad, and I was like, fix this. And they opened my laptop, and it turned on magically working. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was so mad, but I was really actually so grateful.
Yeah.
It didn't need to get fixed. And it's been working great ever since. So
that's awesome. That's good. Yeah.
What's yours?
My highlight is that I decided to like take a couple of weeks off from like one of my jobs just to get back into like, okay, like I need to do errands, and like I have like these little things that I like are needing to get done. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do them now, like and like not always be working every single day. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm taking like a couple. Yeah. I'm gonna be like a normal person and actually have time off, you know?
Yeah. No, you've been so busy for weeks. So that is awesome that you get to do that.
Yeah. So I was just like, like they were like availability. I'm like, I'm not available these 2 weeks. Sorry. Cause I was like, I just need I need to get things done. Like it's crazy. Like I finally went to the laundromat 'cause I don't have a washer and dryer in my apartment. Finally got all of my laundry done. So that's so nice. So that's like one thing. And then I have to get my name change on my passport back to my maiden. I haven't done that yet. And it's been like years. So I need to do that. That's on my list. I finally like mailed stuff for my mom. Sorry, Mom, that she's been needing, you know? So I'm finally like doing all these things that like I've been putting off for like weeks. So yeah. So I had today off kind of, and so it's been good. And then also like so I can like start like I'm writing like some different projects and things, and so can like kind of have a day to like work on that too and all that. So yeah, you know,
that's
like a
so
normal
good
person.
Yeah, you know, I think as an adult I'm always surprised how much maintenance it is to get everything done. Like in my head I'm always like, oh, I can, that's a quick thing, I can do that and I can do that, and then after a while I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot keep up on all of this. Like,
yeah,
here's the thing. If there's anyone of influence listening to this, it's time that we change the 40-hour work week in America. We got to do it. Like, why are we all expected to work 40 hours? It's not needed anymore. We're way more efficient than we used to be. We can get by with 35. It's okay. If I was running for president, that would be my platform.
Okay.
That would be it. I'd be like, no more daylight savings, 35-hour work week. Elect me.
So I have this friend, and he was like, because when I posted, like shared something, like one of our devotionals on my story, and he saw that and he was like, oh my God, is that B? Like, you guys are the same person. I was like, yeah, I know. And then I was talking about how you're like really good, like you're really savvy with like your arguments when you debate with people. And he was like, he was like, you two in a debate would be like,
that would be so fun.
Well, I was thinking like a funny segment for us to do would be kind of like debating, but like doing it like Valley Girl talk, you know?
Yes.
Like Clueless, but kind of like, so, okay, like.
Hot pink lipstick is totally in, and it's flattering on all skin tones.
But now like all this violence is like, oh my God, like what, you know, I don't know, just something stupid.
We totally should do that.
Just to make fun of people. So, you know. We should.
I feel like this was like a content creation spitballing episode.
Because we're like, the people in Mansfield suck.
They just married their cousins and run off with somebody they're not married to.
I know.
Aw, poor Henry Crawford. I like the blonde Henry. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah. He's cute.
I've been saying it this whole episode, but
he is really cute in this one. It is sad. It is sad to see him so happy with Fanny for that little bit, even though that's not really what happens. But it's like, oh man, like I don't know.
I know. It gives him a more endearing character.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. Okay. Well, this has been fun.
Yeah. So guys, we're gonna write to Edmund this week. So tune in on Wednesday. And then after that Wednesday episode, our next episode will be our first Northanger Abbey episode. So we're excited about that.
I'm so excited for this one because I've never read this book, and I know it's your favorite. So
yeah, it's just so it's like very lighthearted and frilly and you know, very Claudia and
cousins who marry each other.
I don't remember. I don't think so. So
that's gonna be really hard to deal with, but
and we get to be with Mr. Tilney.
So cute. I mean, so I just cute. Like the guy who plays him in the main movie.
Oh, so. I know. He is such a little cutie patootie. So. Hottie Boom Body Tilney. I love Hottie Boom Body Tilney. I just love his name. I think the name is really cute. Like I kind of want to name my son Tilney, you know?
That's actually really cute. I like that.
I like that. Tilly. Yeah. Call him T. Hey, T.
Aww.
Yeah.
Cute. Okay, well, now we got to get you a baby so you can name him Tilney.
I know. Or maybe I'll just name my dog that.
That's a good idea.
I don't want a boy dog though. I want a girl dog because, sorry to be like, you know, whatever on the air, but like when the wiener pops out, it's like, wow.
That is really disconcerting on dogs.
Yeah. So I prefer girl dogs, you know. I'm not trying to be like, you know, sexist, but I'm just saying.
Valid argument.
Okay, good.
I agree with you. I would make my decision based on that too.
Yeah. So, well, this has been fun, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Making sure that you're subscribed is super helpful for us. Don't just download like individual ones. Subscribe for us, babies.
And we'll leave us a review too. We haven't gotten a review in like forever.
Oh, and we feel deprived of your attention, friends.
I know.
Have you not been listening to us at all?
I know. And then
words of affirmation.
I know. And you guys can also leave voice messages for us, like with your comments, questions, and concerns.
Thank you. I'm done. This message from somebody.
I know, me too. It'd be so fun. So
I'm not going to keep leaving messages, but that's not the same thing. Anyway.
All right. Well, we'll catch you guys. Tune in on Wednesday for our Edmund letter, and then we're off to Northanger Abbey.
Yay! Okay, thanks for listening, teacups. We will talk to you later.
Bye. Cool.
Audio is off. And
bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. Love you. Mwah.